Welcome back. So in this lecture, I'm going to be telling you about the tradability of indices. I spoke about that in the introduction lecture as well, if you remember. Tradability of indices means nothing but if an index can be traded or not. So if you have the S&P 500 or the FTSE 100, can that index be traded? Is the question that pops up in the minds of a lot of investors and traders. Okay, so if an index cannot be traded, then it would just be for representational purposes only. Okay, so you have to see whether indices are tradable or not. Okay, and let's take a look at the tradability of indices and what does it really mean and why is it important. So are all indices tradable? Not necessarily. It depends on a couple of things. So it depends on the type of index. If it's a stock market index, then yes, there could be an option to trade it. But if it's an unusual index, like the hamburger index or the Big Mac index I told you about, then of course not. How are you going to be trading a Big Mac index, right? So it depends on the type of index, okay? And for checking on the tradability of indices that you're targeting or looking at, you check for tradability in the index information, okay? Most indices usually have information about their data set, their tradability, etc. So what that means is every index has a fact sheet which you can look at, and that fact sheet usually would have information on the lot sizes, on the tick values, on the trading hours, etc. Okay, and you can take a look at those things for checking out the tradability of indices that you're looking at. If an index is not tradable, then the fact sheet would say that this index is just for representational purposes only. Okay, so that's basically the what the tradability of an index basically means. Okay, and it's an important point, and you got to understand that not all indices would be tradable, like I said, and some indices would just be used for representational purposes only. I'll show you something right now which will give you an idea of where to check for the tradability of indices. Let's take a look. So I am at the S&P indices website, the Standard & Poor's indices website, spindices.com, and here I am at the S&P 500 index information page. So here you can see the fact sheet. Like I said, that all indices have a certain fact sheet. Okay, and you just download the fact sheet, which I have already downloaded, and it's open over here. You have the methodology, the method through which the index is calculated, and any additional info for the index as well. Okay, so I have downloaded the fact sheet of the index. Here it is. So it tells you a lot of things. It basically gives you the description and the attributes and the construction method and the quick facts and the historical performance from a couple of years in numbers in the chart form, in calendar year performance type. Then the characteristics of the index, where it tells you of the total number of constituents, okay, and the total market cap of the constituents. Constituents are nothing but the stocks that are included in the index. Okay, the top 10 constituents, the weight of the top 10 constituents, and the weight of the largest constituent, basically in percentage terms. Okay, the largest total market cap of the constituent and the smallest total market cap of the constituent. So it gives you all these descriptive statistics as well. And the top 10 constituents by index weight is also given in almost all the fact sheets. So here we can see that IT, the information technology sector, represents a good chunk of the top 10 constituents. And if you see over here in the sector-wise breakdown, where percentage terms are given, then IT, the information technology sector, represents about 19.9%. So that's almost 20% of the constituents. And then the next one is healthcare. So that's a pretty good representation, right? And there's some more information and related products and stuff like that. So it basically depends on the fact sheet of every index. If not all indices have the related indices information as well. So this is nothing but the fact sheet of S&P 500 index, and all of the indices have fact sheets available for on their website. So you can just download the fact sheet and you'll be able to read through a lot of things. Okay, so I will also show you in the next chapter. We are going to be taking a look at Forex indices in the next chapter. So this is it for this chapter, and I hope you understand what tradability of indices means and what asset classes can have indices, all of the chapters that we have done so far, and the importance of fact sheets of indices, looking at the constituents and the sector weightage and all of these things. I'll see you in the next chapter. Till then, enjoy. Bye-bye.